What's going on? Let's get some people in this chat. Get some people in here. Then we get to having some conversations. Some conversations here. Get some people in. What's going on, everybody? What is going on? I want to go down or up. What's up, everybody? What is up? John Barnett 9053. How you doing? How you doing? I appreciate you tapping into the live. Appreciate you tapping into the live. Actually getting started a little late. Got to running some errands and got behind. Ty Coleman. What's up, T? Ty Coleman. What's up, Ty Coleman? Is that the Ty Coleman that works for me? Because I want to make sure I say Ty and I got a T that works for me. Pfizer boy, good evening. I appreciate you. I appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate you tapping in. Stephen Plummer, 85. I'm still laughing from the last video you made. What video was that? What video was that, Steve Plummer? What video was that? Okay, so this Ty Coleman, okay, because I got a T Coleman that works for me. I'm just making sure it wasn't the individual that works for me. Appreciate you, Steve Plummer. Appreciate it. Well, so how you guys doing? How you guys doing this evening? We had a nice day here in Indiana. It was like 80 degrees. Um, had to run out to Chicago, well, to one of the suburbs of Chicago to take care of something. Oh, getting a vasectomy? Yeah. Man, ain't nobody coming up pregnant by Frank. No way, no how. No way, no how. Because I'm about to tell you how child support killed my ass when me and my first wife got divorced. Child support killed my ass. When I got divorced the first time, I was paying child support for three kids. Three. Then I was making pretty decent money too. So they was man, it was crazy. I mean, they was taking all my damn money. All my money. I was like, once I get done with this, never, never again. I was finally done with child support at 46, I think. So I paid child support to my damn middle 40s. Never again. Never again. I was not gonna get divorced and then end up with a child. Nope, 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 nope. Not happening. Not happening. I wasn't letting that happen. Mm-mm. I'm taking every precaution possible. I'm not gonna leave it into nobody else's hands. I'm gonna put it in my hands. I'm gonna make sure. I'm not gonna have no uncomfortable conversations about how I don't want to be a father. I don't want to be a 55-year-old father. Nope, not doing it. Not doing it. I'm just gonna make sure I be mature and protect myself from the beginning. Make sure. Mm. So guys, so while y'all in here, I got a question. I have a question for you guys. I don't know if you guys can see the title or not. I want to get you guys' opinion. As you guys come in, hit that like button for me, please. How do y'all feel? What's your opinion on this trial with Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf? I want to know how you guys feel. Should Carmelo be guilty or not guilty? I just want to know how you guys feel about it. I want to know your opinions and your thoughts. Cause I'm gonna give my opinion, but I just want to know you guys' opinion and what you think. If anybody want to share, if anybody want to share, but yeah, today I didn't do too much. It's like I said, I had a couple errands to run and things of that nature, and had to get Blaze groomed up, had to get his monthly grooming, so he's all nice and clean, nice and so fresh and so clean, clean. Hey, Blaze, oh, come here, Blaze. I want to get, can you get on the camera? Come here, come here, come here, come on, come on. See, look at him. Blaze, look in the camera. Say hi, folks. Hi, folks. Hi, folks. Yeah, this my little homie right here. This is my little homie right here. This my little homie. Ain't that right? Ain't that right? Ain't that right? Ain't that right? So Ty Coleman said, "Do you think he's guilty?" So, um, see, from what I've been reading up on Welcome to the Vet Club. I appreciate Fabian 3094. Welcome to the Vet Club. So, my personal opinion, because I was actually looking it up today because I knew I wanted to talk about this on the live tonight. And in Indiana, I live in the state of Indiana, and I'm gonna share what Indiana says on the use of deadly force. So, in the state of Indiana, under Indiana law, you generally cannot use deadly force if you were just simply pushed or pushed to the ground. To legally claim self defense in Indiana, your response must be reasonable and proportional to the threat you face. So basically, if I'm reading that, um, being pushed wouldn't warrant being stabbed in the chest, going by the law. Me myself, I'm not gonna. If somebody pushed me, here's the deal. I'm a legal gun carrier. So if somebody pushed me, I'm not just gonna kill them because it's a push. But if somebody punched me, I'm probably gonna shoot. I'm probably gonna shoot. I'm not gonna shoot. I'm not gonna shoot somebody dead from a push. But if somebody punched me, I am going to take out my weapon and shoot because you can be killed from a punch. So I think it was excessive. I think it was excessive. I think he's probably going to get manslaughter. Is what I think it's going to be manslaughter. Is what I think is going to happen. That's just my guess. That's my guess. I think it's probably going to be manslaughter. That's my honest opinion of what I think is going to happen. Um, I don't think he should get away scot free. Definitely not, because I just think from a push and coming back with a knife, I just think that was excessive in my opinion. I mean, it's just my opinion. I just think that was excessive to be from a push. Now, if it was punched, hey, somebody can be killed from a punch. But from a push, I think a knife in the chest from a push is was it that was excessive in my opinion. Just how I see it in my opinion. So let's see who's that coming in. Fabian, what's up? Gardona 126. You made a lot of content advising your peers and people in your age group. What advice do you have for young people living through this time of uncertainty and high cost of living? Um, Joy587 say, "What the f you mean? Even if it was a punch, doesn't mean you." Well, Joy587, like I said, I got my opinion, and you got your opinion. If I'm pushed, I'm not going to shoot somebody. Like I said, I carry a gun every day. If somebody pushed me, I'm not killing them. But if somebody punches me, I'm firing my weapon. It's as simple as that. Because someone could be killed by a punch. And like I said, you got your opinion, I got my opinion. But somebody pushes me, I'm not firing my weapon from a push. But if somebody punches me, I'm firing my weapon. And I'll just be judged by 12 and take my chances. So, so what advice would I give young people? Advice I would give young people right now, my children stayed home till my last daughter just moved out when she was 27. She was left home at 27 because I encouraged her to stay home as long as she wanted to, save up her money so she can move out with a nice chunk of change. So if someone has the option to stay home and they're younger, I would stay home as long as I possibly could, stack up my money, start investing, and learn some type of trade that's going to pay you good money. I'm gonna be you gotta make good money these days. You have to make good money. You cannot make it if you just I'm trying not trying to crap on anybody's career or talk. I'm not trying to talk down on anybody's career. I'm really not. But you cannot make it in today's time if your only income if you just working at Walmart unless you're the manager. I mean, if you're the cashier, you can't do that. You can't be working at McDonald's unless you're the manager. You have to gain skills, marketable skills these days and times, and you got to make good money. And when you make this good money, I live at home until 30 because my mom was charging me. It was hard to save. I live at home until 30 because my mom was charging me. And see, that's another thing. Tina Love 8197. I didn't charge my kids. I didn't I don't believe in charging. Hmm. That's walking a fine line. I hated my mother charged me rent. I hated that. Because I'm like, why do you need my money? Especially back in the days. Back in the days, I mean, she was working, she made good money. Why did she need my money? I was trying to save my money. But, and it's kind of funny you say that because once me and my ex-wife split up, my ex-wife, she started charging my daughter rent. When we was together, I didn't make my daughter pay anything. But then when my ex-wife said, "Well, I'm only on one income now, so you have to start paying rent." I said, "You know what? I can't tell your mom what to do. We're not together." It wasn't. I can't tell your mom what to do. But if you know, but I didn't charge any of my kids rent because I know I hated that. I know I hated being charged rent when I was living at home. And I told myself, if I'm never going to charge my kids rent because to me, it's my home. It's my home. These are my bills. The kids didn't ask to be here. So I'm going to make sure they provided for. Now, here's the deal. Now, they were just at home, not doing anything else, not going to college, not saving the money, anything else. Um, might have been a different conversation, but they all went to school. They all was in college, so I didn't wasn't charging them anything until they move out. I wasn't charging them anything because I didn't need their money. I didn't need their money, and I wasn't going to charge them rent. That's just how I ran my household. Other adults may see it differently, but that was just me. I wasn't going to charge my kids rent because I hated being charged rent when I was growing up, and I don't. And and my mother said, teaching me responsibility. They really didn't teach me anything. That caused me to be mad and pissed off that you was taking my money. It didn't teach me anything. They didn't teach me nothing. Just made me mad that you was charging me rent. But But yeah, so I mean, if you're young and you can stay home, and that's another thing about the culture, and I'm gonna be honest with you, hate to bring up race, but that's one thing in the black culture that I hated. Because once we got to like when I was coming up 18, 19 years old, it was pretty much you was on your own. You was on your own. No, I'm not, parents not helping you with anything. And I can't speak on the white culture because I'm black. So I can't speak on how white individuals did that. I only can speak on the culture I was raised on. So like when I got 18, nobody helped me with anything. Nothing. Nobody helped me with nothing. I was on my own, had to provide everything, everything. And that's another thing I didn't like growing up. So my daughters right now, my two daughters are still on my cell phone plans. My two daughters are still on my cell phone plan. One was on my car insurance till a year ago when she got engaged. And then she came off because her and her fiance had bought her, she saved money, her and her fiance bought a car. But I was still helping my daughter out at 25, 26 years old because she was still in school, still going to college. So I was still helping her out. So I didn't adopt that philosophy when you're 18, I'm just cutting you off. I wasn't doing that because they're still young adults and they still need help um, getting their footing, starting their lives. And like I said, that's one thing I don't like. I did not like about me growing up, black culture back in the days, and probably, and even it's that way now. When kid get 18, it's just like they stop getting any help from their parents. I mean, they're only 18 years old. They're young adults, you know. So I didn't want my kids to feel like they were just out there on their own. But like I said, they stayed home for a long time anyway. Like I said, my last daughter, she just got engaged. She lives in Indianapolis now with her fiance. But when she left home with a nice stack of money, and she's investing. So she has a nice start to life. Nice, really nice, good start to life. And I can say one thing, I'm really proud of my children. My middle daughter, she has a master's in nursing, graduated from U of M, University of Michigan. She works at one of the big hospitals out in Detroit. My son is married. He works in the retail industry like me. He's married with two kids, my first two grandkids, my son and his wife. So, I mean, my sons don't drink, they don't smoke, never been arrested, um, nothing. I got 34, 32. My daughter's 27, 26. None of them been arrested, none of them been in jail. Um, living good lives, living good lives. I'm really proud of my children, really proud of my children. They have not given me any headaches whatsoever. They're good kids, good kids. Groceries on a budget. Hey, Mr. Frank, love your channel. Thank you, Groceries on a Budget. I appreciate you tapping in. I appreciate you supporting the channel. We recognize people that came in. Tina Love 8197. Appreciate you coming in, Tina. Fabian 3094. Yes, guys, hit that like button as you come in, please. Auction Link, that's my buddy. How you doing? Appreciate you tapping in, Auction Link. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, so let me tell you guys how. So let me tell you guys how I went broke in 2007, and it was because of child support. That's why I'm adamant about telling people, man, as men, we got to make sure if you don't want to be a father, if you don't want no mistakes, um, you can't get mad at the woman for getting pregnant. If you don't want no child, men, you need to protect yourself. We got to be adults and we got to be grown-ups about it. So what happened was when me and my first wife got divorced, guys, I got married. First time I got married, I was 22, and I was nowhere ready to be married at 22. I was 22 years old when I first got married, and I wasn't ready to get married at 22. I got married because she was my first wife. I got pregnant with my second son, and my grandfather said, he said you need to marry her and be a husband and a father. And I said, okay, Gramps. So I got married. I was not ready to be a husband at 22. So if any younger adults listen to this, and even women, 9 times out of a 10, you may be in love with a man at, at a young age. Man ain't ready to be married at 22. Not 9 times out of 10, he is not going to be ready to be married at the age of 22. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I ain't gonna even hold you up. I was a shitty husband at 22. I was a shitty husband at 22. I knew I didn't know nothing about being a husband. I wasn't um, taught how to be a husband. Um, it was just did it by trial and error. And but I wasn't ready, and I was a terrible husband at 22. And I know my kids are going to listen to this video because I've already told them they know I was a terrible husband at 22. And and then so I got married after my first wife, she became pregnant with my second son. So we got married. I thought I was doing the right thing, but I thought I was doing the right thing, but I wasn't ready at that time to do it. And so it didn't last long. It didn't last long. And then I started paying child support. Started paying child support. It was just the two boys. And then um, some time down the road, um, going back, visiting, seeing children, trying to rekindle things, go back, might rekindle some things, not rekindle some things. Then she became pregnant with my first daughter. And so now I'm paying child support for three individuals. And being young and immature, I was doing everything. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all know I'm transparent on here. Hayden Real Estate, appreciate you dropping in. I appreciate you, Hayden Real Estate. So as I was young, every time I would switch jobs, I would never update the child support people of where I was working at. So I was getting further and further in the rears, and then they'll catch up with me. Then it'll start coming out of my check, but then I'll have rears. Then I'll change, then end up changing jobs for better money, and wouldn't tell the child support people where I live. Melodic investor, I appreciate you. I know I said that right. I said it right. Melodic investor, I said it right. um, so every time I changed jobs, I would not tell the child support people where I work. So then I may go like a year without paying, and then I'm getting further and further behind. Mind you, I was in my late 20s, guys, just a knucklehead, just a knucklehead, just being irresponsible. And so when I was 34, right? So when I was 34 years old, it's right a year before my dad passed away. Um, so I got a letter in the mail. I was paying child support. Then Michigan, I came out with this new law. It was some type of law was like if you in the rears of child support, they came out with this new law that said now they're going to take current support and they're going to take and then they're going to take the same amount for rear support. So at this time, I was paying like $700 every 2 weeks, $700 every 2 weeks. So then they started hitting me up for like because they was about to be taking all my money. So then they hit me up for another $600 every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks out of my paycheck, they was taking $1,350 out of my paycheck. $1,350 out of my paycheck. That's when I hit my rock bottom. That's when I hit my rock bottom because I couldn't keep up. I could not keep up. Could not keep up. And I think I was coming home. I think I was coming home with like, because I think at that time I was making like, I want to say I was making like 55,000 a year at that time. This was in 2007. I think I was making like 55,000. Um, oh yeah, this was many years ago. DM David. This was many years ago. This was like I'm 54 now. This was like 25 years ago, like middle end of late 20s. And so so out of my paycheck, they was taking out current support plus the same amount for back support. It's kind of like a new law that Michigan came out with. So I was basically coming home, guys, with like making $55,000 a year. I was coming home with like $400 every 2 weeks. $400 every 2 weeks is what I was coming home with. It was it was insane. And luckily, my ex-wife, she had a good paying job because she you talking about a humbling experience. My ex-wife at that time pretty much had to carry the load, pretty much. I bet she just came home and just gave her just say, here's the money, here's my paycheck, because there was nothing I could do. There was nothing I could do. I was contributing like $800 a month. Just here you go, here you go, just here you go. And I mean, and I'm gonna give her credit, my ex-wife credit. Like I said, I never have nothing bad to say about my ex-wife. She never made me feel less than. Um, she never made me feel like less than a man. You know what I mean? And she stuck in there with me. She said, "You know what? We're gonna get through it. We're married. You made some mistakes." And I felt horrible because my past mistakes was now a burden in her current life. My past mistakes that caught up with me. It was now a burden in her life. And yeah, I felt like crap for that. I felt like crap for that because I mean, probably any other woman probably would have left my ass. To be honest with you. Any other one probably would have left me. Oh, because I'm telling you, only contributing $800 a month to the household, man, that was like I said, that was a humbling experience. Very humbling experience. Very humbling. That's why once we got through that, and then and then I ended up on the IRS money, like $20,000. And the reason that happened is because I'm trying to get more money out of my paychecks because they're taking all this child support money, right? So I started over withholding. You guys know I don't hold nothing back. I'm just transparent. So what I was doing on my taxes, I started over withholding. I was like, guys, I was claiming like 7, 8, 9 on my on my damn federal taxes, so they wouldn't take out that much federal taxes. So I started over withholding so I would get more money back on my taxes. And then that shit caught up with me. I was like, man, I cannot catch a damn break. I cannot catch a break. Yep. And then my dad passed away in '07. And when he passed away, I was rock bottom broke. Rock bottom broke. Didn't have a dime to my name, not two damn pennies to rub together. So that's why when people sometimes come at me in the comments, come at me in the comments, like man, you gotta know my story because my life was not peaches and cream. I've been through some shit. I've been through a lot. Um, so to come out on the other side to where I am now, it's just by the grace of God, just by the grace of God, and just um, me being diligent and just having a can do attitude, having perseverance, commitment to say, you know what, I got to change my current situation. I can't stay here. I got to change the current situation. And it's kind of funny because I've been with my current company 16 years and my life started changing when I got hired at this company, when I got hired in my current company. That's when I really started seeing my income taking off. I was done. I started my company when I was 38, 38, yeah, 38, because it was 16 years, 38. And then um, started my company. Then my income started going up dramatically. And then started getting, bonuses. I was done with child support when I was 45 or 46. But I was making really good money in my company. So that helped me offset that because I started making more money. Then my ex-wife started making more money. So we was able to get some stuff paid off and started investing and changed and shit, changed our lives around, changed our lives around. Got the child support paid down, got those arrears paid down, and then started paying down debt, started making more money, and it was able to start flourishing. But yeah, that was some hard years from I would say from like 20 when I started working at my company at 38. So from like 30 to 38, man, it was some hard times. From like 30 to 38, it was some hard damn times I had financially, some hard times. And yeah, I never want to go through that shit again ever in my life. Never want to go through that again ever in my life. I'll never want to experience that again in my life. And that's probably why right now, probably why I don't spend money that often right now. I don't spend very often. I mean, I just spend what I need to because I do not want to go back to the day. It's probably why I'm so a maniac with my saving, a maniac with my investing, because I don't want to go back to where I was. Don't want to go back to where I was. Because those were some hard damn times. I don't want to go back there again. Ooh, got 22 people in. Anybody got any questions? Anybody got any questions for me? How I dealt with all that? How I dealt with all that? Come on, y'all don't get quiet on me now. Chat. All right, here we go. Frank, are you against annuities? Um, I wouldn't say I'm against them, but what do you think of the downturn? I'm not against annuities. Um, I'm just gonna be I'm just gonna be honest with you. I haven't learned a lot about annuities, and I haven't studied annuities a lot because I'm be honest with you because everything I heard about annuities is that they wasn't good. So I haven't really educated myself on annuities that much. So I really can't say they're good or bad. I just haven't really educated myself on them pretty much. Marshall said a little bit off topic. What do you think about the downturn that occurred on Friday with the market? So from what I was reading, Auction they were saying that the market is thinking that because of the jobs report, that the market is thinking that there's going to be an interest rate hike. So that's why we have to sell off. I don't I don't think there's going to be an interest rate hike. I personally don't think there's going to be an interest rate hike, and I think that was just a knee-jerk reaction of the stock market because the only reason to me, I see interest rates, inflation ticked up like to 3.8 last month just because of this darn war. Gas price was down there $5 a gallon. And then everything that's being delivered to stores and restaurants having surcharges, like in my travel stop. Every damn delivery now has a damn surcharge on it because of gas prices. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But I will say one thing though, got our P&L for last month. In 1 month, that was my highest month ever in profit sharing last month in May. My highest 1 month total ever it's all because of the diesel prices because they're out of this damn world. But it was out of this world. But I made a killing last month in profit sharing, a damn killing. I mean, don't blame. I mean, I just work there, but I'm benefiting off the diesel prices. But yeah, actually, I think it was a knee jerk reaction because the market thinks that there's going to be a chance of an interest rate hike. There's not. I don't think there's going to be an interest rate hike. 3.8% CPI was not. It's not terrible, and it's only because of the darn war and the fuel prices. I mean, we're now at 7%, 8%, 9%. So um, I just think it was a knee jerk reaction. Knee jerk reaction. That's just how I see it. How I see it. And my word, not in the slightest. Not in the slightest. Um, Fred, why don't you talk about tax strategies? That is a major factor in wealth building. Um, Good point. When it comes to taxes, it's kind of like everybody just, it seems like with taxes, everybody just kind of like do what's best for them when it comes to taxes. Um, as far as write-offs and things of that nature. I'll tell you one thing, they say having real estate really, really, really helps lower your tax bill owning real estate. Um, I'm going back and forth if I want to buy some real estate, guys. I'm really thinking about it. I'm thinking about just buying me, speaking of taxes, hating real estate. I'm thinking about buying, I ain't trying to buy no expensive home, but I might just buy me a little cheap rental property because everybody keeps telling me get some real estate in your portfolio. Don't just count on the stock market. But the thing about it is, I'm just C Riggs. I appreciate you. What's up, C Riggs? Appreciate you on tapping in. Jerry Wells, appreciate you tapping in. I'm just, I'm just, um, I'm just not really over. I just don't really like real estate. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm just gonna be honest. I just really don't like real estate. It doesn't make me all warm and fuzzy like the stock market, just to be honest. But everybody keeps telling me I should probably at least get one piece of property just to have it in my portfolio, just to have it because real estate really helps you offset your income so much. You can write off so many things if you have a piece of rental property. You just do so many write-offs, so many write-offs. So I think I'm gonna keep thinking about it because I actually thought about moving out of. I don't want to move out of my because I know my house. I thought about moving out of my house and go buy something else, but I don't want to do that. I just rather because I like my house. I like my nice, cozy little place. It's good for me and Blaze, and I like my home. But I think I might in 2028, no, 2027. I might pull the trigger and buy something. Buy something then. I might, I might. Because everybody's telling me get some real estate in your portfolio and don't just count on the stock market. And another thing I like the stock market 'cause if I need money, just jump on my laptop on my phone, and the money is in my account in a couple of days. I just don't like all the red tape if you need to pull money out of real estate. But I don't foresee me having to pull money out of real estate. But you never know what can happen in the future. You never know. You never know. Knock on wood. Never know. I was going to purchase any real estate. This is me. Auction link. If I would have purchased real estate, I will do storage units. I know someone who did decent with about 20 units, storage units. They don't call you 3 a.m. for no heat. That's true. That's true. That is true. That is very true. Charles Lee, Charles Isaac Charles 539. Appreciate you dropping in. Appreciate you dropping in. Actually, my dad was a superintendent for public housing, and I swore the calls he would get. I swear. Yep. Yep. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna rush into it. Not gonna rush into any real estate. Hating real estate. I have a duplex. I live and work out of one side and rent out the other. Yep. Ultimate tax deduction vehicle. They pay off my house, and I deduct business expenses from the use of my time and area. That's right. That's the thing about real estate because you can write off so many things when it comes to real estate. Melodic investors. Real estate has been good to me. Yeah, I know. See, melodic investors, see, that's your thing. So you know real estate like the back of your hand. You know real estate. You know real estate. See, the way you with real estate is the way I am with the stock market. I can sit and just look at charts and graphs all day long, and it won't bother me. But then you talk about me looking up stuff about real estate. I'm like, I'm not. I don't want to read this book. I'm not interested in this. Ty Holmes, I'm not getting married or having kids. Hey, you got to do what's best for you. You got to do what's best for you. Got to do what's best for you. But just make sure if you don't want no kids, just make sure you prevent you from not having kids. Do not leave it up to the woman. Don't leave it up to the woman. You make sure you protect you. Don't leave it up to the darn woman. Because child support is no joke. Child support is no joke. Someone, 5 grand man. What's up? What's up? How you doing? I appreciate you tapping in. Because I got someone commented off my video earlier today and said they had a cousin that just had a child at 52. There's no way. There is no way that I'm gonna have a kid at 54 years old. Guys, if I had a kid right now, they'd be born by the time I'm 55. I would be paying child support till I'm 72. 72. No way. No way. No way. No way. No way. No way. I'm not doing it. That's why I was like, when I got my divorce and I knew I was going to be dating, and I wasn't having no kids. Wasn't having no slip ups. Good thing is, since my lady friend right now that I've been seeing her for like 3 years now, so she doesn't want any kids anyway. But I mean, she doesn't have her tubes tied or anything like that. So, but like I said, I'm making sure I'm protected. I'm not leaving it up to the woman. I'm making sure I protect myself. Because imagine that. Because it happens every day. These guys just be out here just wilding out and having babies in their early 50s, and man, I couldn't even imagine that. My grandkids are 4 and 1. What would I look like having a baby at 55? My grandkids are gonna be older than their niece and nephew. That's crazy. Mm-mm. Wiz 9205. What's up? I appreciate you popping in, Wiz 9205. How long we been on? I don't see no clock up here. Oh well. Oh, it's like 8:15. I remember now. Yep. So yeah, those fellas, we gotta protect ourselves. We gotta protect ourselves. Gotta protect ourselves. Because we can't leave it up to the woman and then be having those uncomfortable conversations. I don't want to be a father, this and that. Don't leave it up to the woman. Make sure you protect it, fellas. Especially with me, I'm gonna pay my, if that was to happen, I would pay my child support, but I do not want my finances interrupted talking about some damn child support in my 50s. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. So y'all, I got pulled over to get today outside Chicago. I was coming through from the suburbs of I was up in Schaumburg. I was up in Schaumburg, a suburb of Chicago. Um, I was coming down 94. I was taking a Dan Ryan back to Indiana and got pulled over because and I know it was because of my temp plate. I still got the temp plate back there, and we was in stop and go traffic, and the Illinois State Police was right behind me, and I was like, I know he's gonna pull me over. I know he's going to pull me over, and got a couple miles down the road. Sure as shit, the lights came on. So it walked up. It was two state boys, right? Two state boys in the car on the Dan Ryan Expressway coming through Chicago. And this is what I say about a lot of people, man. When they talk about dealing with police, as black people, black individuals, and things of that nature, man, I've never had an issue with police, never. And then I remember I had a relative back. I remember back in 2020 when the whole George Floyd thing was going on, and I had a relative tell me, "Well, that's what you never had an issue with a police officer because you haven't ran into the right prejudiced police officer." And I'm like, "What? What do you mean I haven't ran into the right prejudiced police officer?" It's like, you know what? I just don't. I just got a different way of thinking. So I've never had an issue with a police officer. So I walked up to the car today. He walked to the car today, and he said, I couldn't see your plate. He couldn't see my plate. I'm like, okay. He was like, got your paperwork? I'm like, yep. He asked me if I had any any guns, any weapons on me. I say, nope, not in Cook County, because even though I have a national carry permit, Cook County would not recognize it. If I had my gun on me, they would have not recognized that in Cook County, and I would have went to jail. So I purposely didn't take my gun with me when I left today. And then when he came up to the car, he just said, told me he couldn't see my plate. And he said Corvettes get stolen in that area a lot. And so he got his paperwork. Yep, gave him a license, insurance, temporary registration. Took a couple minutes, came back. He was like, "Have a great day, Mr. Davis. Enjoy your car." I'm gone. And I'm gone. No issues. So Isaac Charles said it's all about compliance and not race. Exactly. 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 He didn't come up and what you pulling me over for? What you pulling me over for? You're pulling me. Why are you pulling me over? It's all about compliance, man. It's all about compliance. I've never had an issue with a cop. I remember one time 2 years ago, I was in a Camaro driving on 65, going south on 65, headed south. Went through a construction zone. I'm doing like 85 in a construction zone that's marked 55 on my way to work. Cop comes up. Dad already ran my plate, so he know my name. Said, "Mr. Davis, like you in a hurry?" And I happened to have my work uniform on, and have my work uniform on. And he said, "No, I pulled you over." I said, "Man, I said, I know you saw me. I saw you in back of me, and I pulled off of it. I got off the gas." He said, you did. Pulled me over, ran my plates, let me go with a warning. Let me go with a warning, doing over 20 in a construction zone. Over 20. So I don't care. I don't care what nobody say. It's all about compliance. Now, if you would have came up and I'm being all belligerent, why you pull me over and all this crap, you probably would have wrote me a damn ticket. But I've gotten out so many tickets just by being respectful to the officer. Got out of so many tickets just by being respectful to the officer, and they let me go on by my way. Let me go on by my way. Yep, let me go on by my way. So, I just don't agree with all that. Especially if you're driving and you legit, license good, registration good, insurance good, you ain't doing nothing wrong. Just let them do their thing, and you're gonna go on about your business. Simple as that. Simple as that. But a lot of people cause issues cause issues for themselves. Cause issues for themselves. I think a lot of issues can be avoided. You know, just be honest and be compliant. Be honest and be compliant. Uh, Sea Cow '03. That's near where I live by Schaumburg. Yep, I was kind of like, I think I was coming up, I was leaving Schaumburg. I took the damn ride, and I think when I got pulled over, I was right outside South Holland. I think I was right outside South Holland and Stony Island in that area, in that area. And I was before traffic came to a stop, I was flying too. I was flying. Then there was construction, so I had to slow down. But I was rolling through there though. Rolling. Yeah, but yeah, guys. So yeah, I think we've been on an hour, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this live up. So yeah, I appreciate you guys popping on. So appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Um, so I think actually Thursday I uploaded my very first video Thursday, June 4th, 2022. So this past Thursday, I've been on YouTube for 4 years. 4 years. Uploaded my first video June 4th, 2022. So I've been on here. I've been on the platform for 4 years. 4 years. Yep. So I mean, I enjoy being on the platform. I enjoy having talks. I mean, at my age, I've seen a lot, done a lot. So got a lot of individuals behind me in their 30s and 40s that I feel like I can give some wisdom to, give some advice to, whether you take it or not. But I got a lot to share. I got a lot to share, and just from life experience, just like Big Unk, just like Big Unk. Just a lot of life experience, and that I can share, and just try to, you know, help people where I can help people. You know, Melodic Investor, Frank, we have to say last night. Man, there's a lot of Davises. There's a lot of Davises on the channel. There's a lot of Davises on the channel. A lot of Davises on the channel. It's kind of crazy. Davis is such a common name. I hate my first name, Frank, but my father's name was Frank, so my mother named me Frank. Just seemed like such a plain Jane name, Frank. I never liked my first name. Never, ever, ever. Never liked my name. So I didn't name neither one of my sons Frank because I was like, I hate the name Frank. I'm not naming one of my sons Frank. Mm-mm-mm. Christopher in Texas said, yes, he's guilty. Hey, like, yeah, I have to say, I think, the force he's used, I don't think from a push to a knife, I don't think that was justified. So I don't know what they're going to do with conviction, but he's going to get convicted of something. He's going to be convicted of something, that's for sure. Going to be convicted of something, that's for sure. Um, yep, and you can't have knives at school events. Um, yep, Isaac charge of individuals got to want to learn and invest. Yep, I actually, this is going to be the last thing I talk about. So when I started investing, my my ex stepfather was the one who got me into investing, and I started my Roth when I was 38 with my ex stepfather because he would always tell me, Frank, start your Roth. Frank, start your Roth. Frank, start your Roth. And because of our personal relationship, I listened to him, and then I was able to see how. From And then I was able to see how investing had changed his life. Because when him and my mom divorced, He was a big lottery player. He would spend 20, $30 a day in lottery, buying lottery tickets, playing the 3-digit number, playing the 4-digit number. So when he told me he started investing because he told me one time he was like, I'm gonna probably have my house paid off because when him and my mom divorced, my mom left and let him have the house. She didn't fight for the house. He can have the house. I just want out the marriage. So he told me he's about to have his house paid off. And I was like, his name was Robert. I was like, Robert, how you paying off your house? I was like, how you paying off your house? He was like, because I started investing my money after me and your mom got divorced. I said, you started investing your money? I was like, what are you talking about investing? I'm like, what are you talking about investing? So he was the one that schooled me on investing, helped me open up my Roth because I could see how him investing and he was single and how he was still able to live a good life because he was taking his earned income and he was investing his money. So I was like, hmm. She started teaching me about stocks. She started teaching me about index funds. And and that's how I got started because I trusted him, I knew him, and I could see how investing was changing his life and he was able to live a great life, a good life by investing because he started investing his money. He stopped playing the lottery and took that money and started investing it. And I could see, and because he was investing his money, paid off his house in like 10 years because he started investing. And he was the one, he was another one that, you know, used to always talk to me about, keeping your debt low and things of that nature. He wasn't the one, he didn't carry debt. He bought all of his cars in cash, nice used cars. He would just buy them in cash and invested his money. Didn't really have debt. And yeah, I wish he was still alive to this day because he died at 70. He died at 70. If he was still alive today, he would be 80. And when him and my mom divorced, we always stayed cool because he was a good, positive guy and a good, positive guy and influence on my life. And he taught me a lot. And he taught me a lot about, being a man and being an adult and carrying yourself like a man and doing the right things and, you know, living by your word, keeping your word, having integrity, things of that nature. So he was a good man. And I learned a lot from him. And I wish I could I, I think of him every day. I said, you know what? His name Robert. I said, Robert. I look up at the sky and I said, Robert, thank you for giving me that investing knowledge. Because if it wasn't for him giving me the knowledge about investing, I don't know if I would have started. I don't know because he was the one. He was the one that gave me the knowledge. He was the one to encourage me to start investing. Sure was. Sure did. Uh, Black Down Willie said, "Hey Frank, random question: will you ever take a pay cut for a better peace of mind? About 15,000." Yeah, I would. I would. I would. Back down, Willie. I would. And I'm gonna tell you because I'm about to probably experience that within the next couple of years myself. I'm about to because my goal was to. I wanted to leave work by the time I'm 56. I want to just leave altogether because if you guys haven't studied the rule of 55, if you get um, if you separate from your present employer, that 401k you can access without penalties. You still have to pay the taxes. It's called the rule of 55. So if anybody interested, just look it up. It's called the rule of 55. If you separate from your most recent employer, like my employer right now, if I leave calendar year January the 1st, 2027, I turn 55 in March. If I leave next year, January the 1st, I could go into my 401k from this job with no penalties. Just I still have to pay the taxes. Um, I would still have to pay the taxes. But so I was thinking about doing that, but I'm like, man, it's like, but I still got to worry about medical insurance. If I was just to leave, I still got to worry about medical insurance and things of that nature. But I can step down to a lower position. I will have to take a pay cut. I can step down to a lower position and take a pay cut. and it'll be just peace of mind, peace, peace. Today I was off work. Got 5 phone calls today from work. 5 phone calls today from work. Now it doesn't happen every weekend I'm off, but it's still annoying. It's still annoying because I still gotta walk my manager through process and how to handle issues and things of that nature. So back down, Willie. Yeah, if you if you can still afford it, and the 15,000, if you can afford to take the pay cut and still live your life at how you're living it, I would do it because I'm gonna be probably doing the same thing within the next couple of years. Because I look at it like this: my only, I'm still aggressively right now paying down my mortgage. That's my only debt. Car's paid off. No credit card debt. So I'm going to probably be doing the same thing within the next couple of years. Same exact thing. Same exact thing. So, um, I mean, you can't. So, but and with because I know with my investments, um, I've never touched my 401k. Is is good. Never touched my Roth. Is good. I'm working on my third account right now. Um, Once I get this account here to 100 grand, and then I'm just going balls to the walls to pay my house off. So, I mean, I got my 401k is high 6 figures, my Roth high 6 figures. I'm getting one more account. Got one more brokerage account with Vanguard. It's called VINIX, Vanguard Institutional Index Fund. Right now, it's sitting at like 73,000. I opened that account in 2022 after I filed for my divorce because I knew my wife wouldn't be able to get any of that money. So I started that account also in 2022 after I filed for my divorce because I knew because once I filed, everything stopped. She couldn't get nothing of anything after I filed. So I've been aggressively building that account up to 100,000. Once that gets to 100,000, I'm done. It's just going to be balls to the walls, paying off my home. So I can step down, and if I need money or need to dip into an account, I'll have three three investment accounts with sizable money in it. I'm not concerned about that at all. Not concerned about that at all. That's why I do what I do and invest the way I invest, so I don't have to worry about money in my future. Don't have to worry about money in my future because I'm like you. I want peace. I don't want like just peace in my life. I want peace in my professional life. And I knew once we started getting busier at the travel stop, I knew I was going to start having headaches this winter, just smooth sailing. But I knew once we started picking up, people start acting, employees start doing stupid stuff. Ugh, always happens in the summer. Always happens. So, guys, what about hating real estate? Do you think you should hold off on Social Security or take it right away when you're eligible? Hating real estate. I, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I don't know. That's a tough one. If you don't need it, because if you take it at 62, they're going to reduce it, or because if you take it at 62, they're going to reduce it. If you wait, because did they actually really? Because I really haven't seen concrete evidence. Is is retirement really right now 67? Is it really 67? Because I heard grumblings about it, but I've never really got confirmation. I'm gonna Google it. What's retirement age? What's retirement age? So right now, Google's saying between 66 and 67 is retirement age. So say 67. So if you take it at 62, it'll be a little reduced. You wait till 65. But I look at it like, ah, I'm gonna say that was just depending on the individual. I said hating real estate. I said that's gonna be on the individual. I don't know. I mean, because my mom took hers early at 62, so hers was got reduced. I don't think I don't think it really bothered her that much. Bother her that much. But hell, I mean, if she ever had an issue, she calls me anyway. So I guess it really doesn't matter. So she doesn't really care. So I guess that depends on the individual. If you want to take it early. I mean, if because I don't because me personally, I don't plan on really. mm, I don't even plan on me personally. I don't even plan on touching my 401k for a long time because I just want my money to just grow, grow, and grow. I want to just grow because I probably won't even start touching my 401k till I'm I'm done working because I know I can live off my Roth, and depending on what my this account do, my VINIX, once that sucker hits 100,000 and it starts snowballing. So I mean, I may just personally, if I don't need that money, I'll probably just wait till I'm me personally. I'll probably just wait till I'm 65 to take mine, and when I get the full benefit. If I don't need it, I mean, if you don't need the money, wait. If you think you need the money, but then again, some people say, you know what? Why should I wait? I may not even. Who knows when I'm going to leave this earth? Just saying, I'm just going to take it and get what I can get now. So, I say I'm saying that that's just a individual just gotta make the decision that's best for them. That'll be my opinion on that. Individuals gotta make the best decision for them. I'll tell you one thing, yeah, like my mom, yeah, she took hers early. I don't know if she really, like I said, what concerned about it, worried about it. But most people I know that have taken Social Security, they've taken it when they qualified for it. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. A lot of people that do that is because they don't have much money. They take their Social Security early because they don't have much money. So, um, back down, Willie. Do you think? Hey Frank, what is a good amount to buy a nice small used SUV in cash? Do you think you can find something for about 6 or 7 thousand? Mm, um, I think back down, Willie. Do you think you find something? I think to find a good, decent SUV without cash, a good, decent SUV, you probably gonna need. I'm gonna say 8 to 10 thousand to find a good used SUV, good, decent SUV. I'm probably gonna say you probably gonna need about 8 to 10 thousand. That'll be my guess. I'm gonna say probably about 8 to 10 thousand. Because I see them all the time online. Because her and her fiance bought her a 2018. It's not an SUV. It was a Subaru. Shoot, Forester. The hatchback is all-wheel drive. I want to say it's a Subaru Forester, but I know it's not an SUV. But it had 90,000 miles on it, and clean as a whistle, and they pay want to say 14 for that, but it only had 90,000 miles on it. It was a 2018, and they did pay like 14 for it, and it was worth it. It was very well worth it. So I think for a good, nice used SUV, you're probably gonna need at least 8 to 10 thousand for that, and I think to get a nice solid one. Um, Timothy Hicks. Frank, what's up? Timothy Hicks. Final question. Is there anything wrong with using Moomoo or Weeble as your brokerage account? I don't have anything against Weeble or Moomoo. Me personally, I use Vanguard because I know they're established. They've been around forever. They handle well. I use Vanguard and Fidelity. Nothing wrong with Weeble. Nothing wrong with Moo. Nothing wrong with Robinhood. Um, it's just like they just call those companies like robo advisors. I just when I started investing, I started with Vanguard. That's what when I started. My ex stepdad helped me open my account at Vanguard. What's up, Punisher? What's up, Punisher? I appreciate you stopping in. Appreciate you tapping in, Punisher. So there's nothing. I got nothing against Weeble, Robinhood, Moo. I'm just partial to Vanguard and Fidelity because I know they are the two biggest in the world and they hold trillions and trillions of dollars. But nothing wrong with Weeble. Nothing wrong with Moo. Nothing wrong with them. I'm just like I said, just personal preference. I just prefer Vanguard and Fidelity. Just personal choice, but nothing wrong with Moo or Weeble, in my opinion. All righty, guys. I appreciate you guys stopping in, tapping in. I like always. I thank you guys. I appreciate all the support on this channel, all the likes, comments, hypes. I appreciate all the love. Appreciate all the love. You guys have a great night. Frank and Blaze, we out of here. Thanks, guys.